When Lily was just a tiny monkey, the love she had for her dad was greater than anything else in the world. One afternoon, her dad sat down on a chair to rest after many hours of work. Suddenly, a rumble rumble echoed from his stomach. Lily, who was playing nearby, immediately looked up, her round eyes fixed on her dad. She tilted her head, ran over to him, and gently asked, "Are you hungry, Dad?" Her dad looked at his little daughter, smiled warmly, and nodded. With all her determination and love, Lily began her mission. She climbed onto the table, used all her strength to tear open the noodle packet, and carefully placed the noodle block into the biggest bowl. Seeing her dad's tired expression, a grand idea flashed in the little girl's mind. She would cook a surprising and nutritious gift for her dad. And that gift was none other than the crispy packet of instant noodles on the shelf. Suddenly remembering her dad's advice to eat lots of vegetables, she scampered over and got a few florets of green broccoli. She meticulously placed the lovely broccoli florets on top of the noodles, telling herself, "This way, Dad will get more fiber."
Yummy.
After finishing the decorations, in her naive mind, she believed her love would make the noodles delicious. Being her first time cooking, she didn't know better and thought that all it took was water to cook the noodles. Lily filled the bowl to the brim with cool water from the tap. Then, Lily quickly ran to the desk to call her dad down to enjoy the special bowl of noodles. Her dad was incredibly surprised and moved by his daughter's heartfelt gesture. However, the noodles remained stiff and inedible. As he looked at the hard noodle strands lying next to the fresh broccoli in the cold water, he couldn't help but chuckle. He didn't scold her at all. Instead, he pulled Lily into a hug and planted a loud kiss on her forehead. "Thank you for the gift, my dear," he said. "But for this gift to be perfect, it needs a little bit of warmth." He then led Lily into the kitchen, silently got a new packet of noodles and a few more broccoli florets. He showed her the hot steam rising, and how the noodles gradually softened and the broccoli cooked when they met the boiling water.
Nha. Thấy chưa? Bí nhanh vô nhé. Anh này
Soon, a steaming, fragrant bowl of noodles with bright green broccoli was ready. The two of them slurped down the noodles together, but this time, the flavor was even more special. It tasted of love, of clumsy but adorable care, and it was Lily's first lesson: only warmth can create magic. Sometime later, Lily was a little older. She was more daring and confident. One weekend morning, sunlight streamed through the curtains, but her dad was still sound asleep, likely exhausted from a long week of work. Lily gently climbed onto the bed, poked her dad's cheek, and nuzzled his neck, but was only met with the sound of steady breathing. Not wanting to disturb his sleep, her hungry stomach began to sing a melody of protest. A bold idea flashed in Lily's mind. She would make breakfast herself, not just for her, but also to surprise her dad with her culinary skills when he woke up. This time, she was determined not only to cook the noodles, but to make them truly delicious and special. She quietly slipped out of bed, went straight to the kitchen, and began her grand project. The first place she thought of was the familiar refrigerator. Lily used all her strength to pull the heavy door open. A cool breeze wafted over her face, but there was nothing appealing inside. After a quick scan revealed no ready-to-eat options, she felt a little disappointed and gently closed the door. Not giving up, Lily began to explore her surroundings. Her eyes darted up to the row of kitchen cabinets, but the shelf was as tall as a skyscraper to Lily. After looking around for a solution, her eyes lit up when she saw an empty box nearby. A clever idea sparked. Lily grunted and pushed the box over to the counter, turning it into a perfect step stool. She carefully climbed up, wobbling slightly, but finally managed to stretch her arm out and grab the noodle packet. The next challenge was the stubborn packaging. Lily struggled for a long time, even using her teeth to bite and her tiny hands to tear, but to no avail. After a struggle, a rip sound finally echoed, and she had succeeded. She joyfully put the dry noodle block into a small pot. Her memory of the last lesson still hazy, she simply thought, noodles need water. Once again, she innocently filled the pot with cool water. After completing the main step, Lily began to show off her culinary flair. She carefully placed red cherry tomatoes and green sprigs of spring onion on the water's surface, decorating her masterpiece with great pride. Now it was time to wait. Lily sat on the floor, her chin in her hands, her eyes glued to the pot. She waited for the sound of boiling water, for the noodles to soften, just as she had seen her dad do. But time ticked by. 1 minute, then 5, then 10. The pot remained silent. The water stayed cold, the noodles remained hard, and the pieces of tomato and spring onion just floated soullessly. Her initial excitement slowly turned into confusion, then disappointment. Knowing she had failed and couldn't solve the problem herself, Lily left the scene of the crime and scurried into the bedroom. She climbed onto the bed, used all her strength to shake her dad's arm, and chirped, "Dad, wake up! Dad, the noodles won't cook!" Her dad groggily woke up.
Gì đấy, ăn gì đấy?
Seeing the urgent and tearful look on his daughter's face, he followed her into the kitchen.
Đi ra kia nhé, đi ra bếp ha, đi ra bếp kiểm tra. Đi gần nấu đây hả? Hả? Con nấu mì hả?
He said nothing, simply sat down beside her and pulled her into a hug.
Đi giỏi nha.
He said gently, "It's very beautiful,
Nấu mì hơi lạ
but
Ly
you
nha.
forgot the
Nè,
most
nấu mì hơi lạ
important
Ly
secret
nha.
again."
Quên cắm điện hả Ly? Hả? Nè. Ngon lắm. Ăn được không? Ăn thêm tí mì nha. Này. Ây cha, đừng đi nấu hả? Hả? Đi nấu đấy hả? Của Ly nấu hả? Của Ly nấu đấy hả? Mọi người, Ly nấu mì này mọi người ơi. Ngon hả? Ây cha. Để thôi ba, lấy sữa cho Ly uống nhé.
This time, her dad didn't remake the noodles. He gently took the failed pot away and returned with a carton of fragrant milk. He gave it to Lily and said, "Sometimes in life, there are mistakes that can't be fixed right away, my dear. But that's okay. The important thing is that you tried your best. Now let's get some energy, and we'll conquer it together next time." Lily accepted the milk, and its sweet warmth helped her feel better. Although the noodles were a failure, she had learned an even more valuable lesson. Effort is always worthy of appreciation, and failure is not the end, but just one step closer to success. Lily was now a more mature monkey, old enough to be by herself at home for a little while. One morning, after giving his daughter careful instructions, her dad left for work. Lily obediently sat on the sofa watching TV. But the cartoons couldn't seem to fill her rumbling stomach. Hunger struck, urging her to take action herself. She went into the kitchen, used a chair to climb up, opened the cabinet. And took down the familiar noodle packet. This time, Lily had a clear plan in her head. She wouldn't use a bowl and a kettle anymore. She would mimic her dad's method exactly. She took a small pot, put the noodle block in, and added just the right amount of water. Then she carefully placed the pot on the gas stove. This was the biggest challenge. Lily stretched, her tiny hand gripping the gas knob. She had watched her dad do this hundreds of times. A click sound echoed, and a magical blue flame ignited under the pot. Success! Lily took a step back, sat on the floor, and watched patiently. She saw tiny bubbles begin to appear, then gradually grow, causing the noodles to dance in the boiling water. When the noodles were perfectly soft, she confidently stepped forward and decisively turned off the gas. The flame vanished instantly. The steam hit her face, carrying a familiar, rich aroma that filled the entire kitchen. It was the smell of victory. She carefully lifted the hot pot down. Lily sat at the table, blew on her noodles to cool them, and then slowly savored her wonderful creation. She had never eaten a bowl of noodles so delicious. It had the taste of perseverance, of lessons learned by heart, and above all, the sweet taste of independence. But the most astonishing thing happened afterward. After she finished, Lily didn't just leave her dishes there. She knew that a grown-up would never leave a mess. She responsibly cleaned up, carrying the bowl and pot with both arms to the sink and placing them down gently. After finishing her kitchen duties, she trotted into the bathroom. She climbed onto her familiar stool, got her own toothpaste, and seriously brushed her teeth in the mirror. Afterward, she even splashed water on her face to freshen up. Finally, when everything was done, her belly full and her body clean and fresh, Lily felt a deep sense of satisfaction. She went to her bedroom, not with her usual playful energy, but with the calm demeanor of someone who has successfully completed a job. She climbed into bed, snuggled under the warm blanket, and fell into a peaceful sleep. The sleep of a hero who had just conquered the greatest challenge of her life, all before her dad came home from work. That afternoon, when her dad returned, he found the house quiet and tidy.
Ở nhà chờ bố lâu không? Chờ có lâu không? À, lâu lắm hả? Ồ.
He knew that his little daughter had not only learned how to cook a bowl of noodles, but had truly grown up, capable of taking perfect care of herself.
Lên mì à? Hả? Lên mì. À, lên mì hả? Không đói bụng nữa hả? À. Ồ, làm gì bẩn cái miệng này? Đánh răng hả? Xem nào, xem răng sạch nào. Ê, răng sạch nè. Giỏi nha. Thôi ngủ một tí nhá. nha. Ngủ tí nha.
That morning was truly peaceful. In the small house, the little monkey named Lily was dressed in a school uniform, sitting seriously at her study desk. But instead of reading a book, she was staring intently at the calendar hanging on the wall. After a moment of deep thought, a wonderful idea suddenly sparked in her mind. Today was Dad's birthday. A grand and loving plan began to form. To carry out the plan, the first thing she needed was money. Lily began her secret mission. She took the phone, looked up the information for a bakery, and quickly ordered a birthday cake. She searched every nook and cranny, and finally, inside a cabinet, she found her treasure, a red piggy bank. Without a moment's hesitation, Lily used all her might to push the piggy bank to the floor, where it shattered on impact. The saved coins clinked cheerfully as they spilled out. Before long, a delivery person brought a lovely cake box to the door. Lily joyfully accepted it and placed the cake on the table. The delivery person kindly helped Lily open the box, and immediately, a sweet strawberry scent filled the room. Before her was a snow-white cream cake, decorated with plump red strawberries and fluffy swirls of frosting. It was so beautiful, so perfect. Just have to wait for Dad to come home, Lily told herself, trying to contain her excitement. But time passed slowly, and Dad still wasn't home. The aroma of the cake was too alluring, wafting into every corner, constantly teasing Lily's little tummy. Finally, temptation won. Just one tiny piece, she reassured herself. The sweet, rich taste melted on her tongue. It was more delicious than anything she had ever tasted. But one piece turned into another piece, and then she grew bolder, picking off a whole strawberry. In her blissful enjoyment, she accidentally leaned too far, and with a splat, a large dollop of cream fell right onto her school uniform. Startled and horrified, Lily looked down at the white stain on her shirt. Panic! If Dad saw this, the secret would be revealed, and he would surely scold her. She couldn't let that happen. She quickly took off the stained uniform and rushed it to the bathroom. With her tiny hands, she clumsily turned on the tap, splashing water all over the stain. She grabbed a bar of soap bigger than her fist and tried to scrub the cream out. Water and soap bubbles flew everywhere, but Lily didn't care. She put the shirt on the washboard and used all her might to scrub and knead, determined to destroy the evidence. After a great battle with the stain, she struggled to wring the clothes dry. Water was still dripping everywhere, But she couldn't wait any longer. She carried the soaking wet uniform outside, stood on her tiptoes on a stone, and stretched as far as she could to hang it on the clothesline. To hide all traces of her deed, she put on the new, clean dress she had bought earlier. Then returned to her study desk and pretended to wait obediently, her heart still pounding.
Lily. Ủa? Trời. Sao vậy? Ủa? Sao thế này? Sao eo của Lily mà lại vỡ thế này trời?
When her dad returned, the first thing he saw was the shattered piggy bank on the floor. Thinking his little daughter had been making mischief again, he couldn't hide his fatigue and annoyance.
Lily. Tao bảo là Lily ơi. Lily, bố hỏi nè. Lily, ba hỏi nè.
Lily, was this you again? He said in a loud voice, unjustly scolded.
Này, có thấy không? Đây này, thấy chưa? Bể heo, thấy chưa? Anh lấy tiền làm gì? Đứng im.
Lily just silently bowed her head, her eyes welling up with tears. But she offered no
Người ta đang nói
explanation.
mà. Tiền là bể heo làm gì? Hay là lỡ đụng vào nó? Đúng không đi? Rồi sao lấy tiền mua đồ ở đây? Lấy tiền đâu mua quần áo? Sao? Tiền đâu con mua quần áo? Bây giờ làm sao có tiền mua đồ, mua trái cây cho Ly đây? Hết tiền mua trái cây rồi. Làm sao? Dỗi à? Làm sao? Không biết nói gì luôn.
She wanted to keep the secret until the very end. Seeing that her dad was still angry, Lily quietly approached him and gently tugged on his pant leg. She led him to the table where the birthday cake was hidden. When her dad saw the cake with its loving message, he was stunned. All his anger instantly vanished, replaced by astonishment, then emotion, and finally regret. He understood everything. Oh, my daughter, he choked out. I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Rồi đến đâu đi? Đến đâu đi? Ôi rồi, đây hả? Rồi cảm ơn Ly nhá. Cầm đây nha. Đây đúng không? Đúng nhỉ?
Thank you for everything, Lily. He swept his little girl into a tight hug. All misunderstandings were washed away. Under the glowing candlelight, the father and daughter shared the sweet cream cake, a simple birthday party that was perhaps the warmest and most meaningful one in the world.
Đi ăn bánh nào. Đây này, đi ăn bánh đi. Đây này đi. Ăn trái cây nha. Đi mua bánh bao nhiêu ấy Lý? Mua bao nhiêu tiền này? Hả? Ngon quá ha. Bánh ngon quá nhỉ. Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Chúng ta ba cho tiền Ly lại đi mua cái heo mới nha Ly nhé. Mua cái heo mới nhé. Cất tiền nhé. À, con ăn con đây hả? Đúng rồi.
After the surprise birthday party for her dad, Lily's musical talent suddenly got everyone's attention. With her ukulele in hand, she became a true street performer.
Hi. Đẹp quá vậy. Dễ thương quá đi. Hi.
Though her playing was simple, it was full of emotion and attracted many fans.
Thank you.
Wow, good job, amazing.
Before long, her hat was filled with tips.
Great job.
Having become a celebrity, Lily decided she had to treat herself to a day of luxury.
I have to keep this money carefully.
First, she carefully put the money she earned into a safe, showing that she was a star who knew how to manage her finances.
I have to reward myself. What should I do? That's such a good idea. Oh yeah! Yay! Ready, set, and go! I am so rich.
Then, she withdrew a little cash and headed to a luxury spa. As soon as she entered,
How can I help
an
you?
employee in a pristine white uniform bowed and respectfully handed
Great
Lily
job.
a golden
Welcome.
VIP card. The atmosphere inside the spa was incredibly serene, with only the sound
Oh,
of
you are a
trickling
VIP
water
member.
and
It
the
is my
gentle
honor.
scent of lemongrass
Welcome.
essential oil in the air. Lily was led to a private room with a miniature massage
want you to
bed
be gentle.
specially designed for her. She lay down on the cloud-soft pillow and was immediately covered with a silky, gentle cloth. To help the star relax, the employee thoughtfully put on some melodious instrumental piano music. The employee's hands gently began the massage at her head, the fingers gliding through her soft fur, lightly kneading behind her ears and at her temples, making Lily shiver gently with pleasure. Then they used a warm, fragrant oil, gently massaging along her spine and down her little legs. All the fatigue from her performances seemed to melt away. Her body went completely limp, her eyes half closed, as she completely immersed herself in a world of absolute comfort and luxury. After the massage that left her feeling as light as a feather, the star Lily proceeded to a magnificent
Hello,
five-star
I would
restaurant.
like to order.
The brilliant crystal chandeliers shone down on tables draped in white linen.
The restaurant looks so fancy. Excuse me. I'm here, bro. Next time I will take my dad with me.
A waiter in a formal suit, seeing the
take your
special
order?
VIP guest,
want lots
quickly
of
rushed
fruit.
over. He carefully placed a
What would you
tiny
like to
silk
drink?
bib around Lily's
I
neck.
think I'll have milk.
Thank you. I will bring the food back soon.
With the air of a star, she quickly chose her dishes. A lavish meal was served, featuring a variety of the
Wow,
freshest
it
fruits
looks
and
delicious.
vegetables, succulent red
Enjoy your
watermelon,
meal.
crisp sweet carrots, cherry tomatoes, and tender green beans. Lily gracefully picked up the tiny silver fork, speared a piece of watermelon, brought it to her mouth, and chewed slowly. She savored each dish with great refinement, looking just like a chic and noble lady. And then, Lily slowly opened her eyes. She found herself still lying on her familiar
I
pillow.
just dreamed
Her
about
dad
something.
still
Dad?
sitting beside her, gently
Ôi,
stroking her head.
Giật mình ghê.
There was no luxury spa, no five-star restaurant. It turned out that all the lavish experiences were just a sweet dream after a long day full of events.
Gì vậy?
Even though it was
Oh,
only a
it's okay,
dream,
Dad.
in that
Let's
dream,
go to sleep.
Lily had truly shone like a star. That afternoon, the golden sunlight was pouring like honey over the garden. Inside, Lily was sitting on her familiar beanbag chair, but her mind couldn't focus on her toys. Through the window, she saw her dad diligently trimming the overgrown branches. Seeing the beads of sweat on his forehead, Lily felt that she couldn't sit still any longer. Lily ran quickly out into the yard. After watching her dad for a while, she ran into the house. Got a bottle of cool water and solemnly brought it out to him.
Ồ, đâu Ly? Ủa? Đi Ly. Alo, bạn đây nào. Đây nè. Bạn đây cho bác hả? Bạn Ly nha. Uống không? Qua đây cho uống.
Her dad smiled and stroked his thoughtful daughter's head. But instead of drinking it himself, he opened the cap and kindly offered the first drink to Lily.
Đúng rồi. Để đảo bạn đảo nha. Sát vô, sát vô. Đó, đây nè, sát vô. Thôi uống nè ha. Đi cho 3 xíu nha, được không? Rảnh không? Rảnh cho 3 đi
After their break, the main task began, cleaning up the giant pile of leaves. Lily looked at the red wheelbarrow. To her, it looked like a red giant. Without a moment's hesitation, Lily got right to work. She copied her dad, using her tiny hands to gather handfuls of dry leaves, creating a delightful rustling sound. She even carefully picked up the small twigs, though they were a bit awkward to hold. Each time she gathered a small pile, she had to stand on her tiptoes, stretching as tall as she could to drop them into the bed of the red wheelbarrow, which was almost half her height. Her small hands moved nimbly, working without rest, her little face showing clear focus and seriousness, as if this were an incredibly important mission. Occasionally, her dad would stop his work, smile, and gently pat Lily's hatted head as a silent word of encouragement. My daughter is doing a great job. It was moments like these that made Lily work even more enthusiastically. When he saw his daughter was getting tired, her hands slowing down, he immediately took a break. He tenderly gave the water bottle to Lily, then gently used a cloth to wipe the water droplets from her chin and the sweat from her forehead. Re-energized by her dad's care, Lily continued her work. When the wheelbarrow was piled high, Lily joyfully climbed on top, turning the pile of leaves into a soft throne.
Lên xe đi.